Hey, I am glad to be back and recording some videos for you guys today. I missed it last week because my brand new website launched. Yay! If you haven't checked it out, please do. You can find it over at joannarothman.com. I also launched a fantastic e-course. It's going to be revving up on July 14th. I am really excited to be sharing that. And it's an opportunity to get into all of the skills, the tools, the resources that I have to help people connect really into their electric creative wholeness and conjure up an amazing human experience. So if you've wanted to work with me, but you weren't not quite ready for a full-length epic adventure, then this is the place to start. So you can check that out too. It's called the Electric Creative Experience. It's over at joannarothman.com. But that's not what I'm here to talk to you about today. Today, I want to talk about intention. The fantastic Beth McClellan sent me a letter the other day asking if I could go into a little more depth about it. And it is my pleasure to, because I've got lots to say on intention. So, for me, intentions, they set a tone. They are not commitments. To me, they're the tuning fork. They strike the tone, and then I need to match that. I need to show up and create the intention. So a commitment is like, I am committed to taking action. An intention to me is how I want to experience what I do and how I want to experience the world. So sometimes when I wake up in the morning, often when I wake up in the morning, I set the intention to experience my electric creative wholeness. And then I have to go about plugging into that and creating that and living in that. Before I work with someone, I set the intention to be a vessel for Spirit's love and grace and to facilitate the process in a way that is for their highest good. And then I have to show up and I have to do that. When I'm in the client chair, when I'm working with my coach, I often set the intention to experience the greatest level of healing and clarity available to me. And then I have to show up and do it. A lot of times people think about intention, well, it's my intention to do this, and then it'll just magically happen. And sometimes it does. I do think that with a clear intention, magic does happen. When I, am in the client chair and I set that intention and I go for it, I feel really supported by the universe, by my authentic self. When I set my intention in the morning to connect with my electric creative wholeness, it's so much easier for me to connect. I find that opportunities show up. The basis of the Receiving Project is about setting the intention to receive. It's like, I'm going to set the intention to receive a gift today. And then I'm going to go out and receive that gift. I'm going to show up and work my process. I'm going to connect. I'm going to facilitate the fuck out of the session with the client because that's my intention. So I do firmly believe that with a clear intention, magic happens. I also know that magic is created by us, and magic is created in what we do. And magic is a byproduct often of our willingness to engage and to show up and to do. So when we set an intention, it's fantastic. It sets the tone. And then the question is, well, what are you committed to doing? So when I set the intention to connect with my electric creative wholeness in the morning, I then get into, okay, so what's my intention? How am I going to match that? What's my commitment? How am I going to match that? How am I going to live up to the intention that I have? Because it's one thing to create an intention and nothing will happen. You may experience a little more awareness, you may experience a little more flow, but if what we're talking about here is you really creating your amazing human experience and not just a experience, then it requires that you come forward with commitment too. So, in those moments, I'll commit to dancing throughout the day. I'll commit to different ways of plugging in, to writing, to meditating, to coming back into myself, to lavishing me with pleasure. This morning, one of the things I committed to was giving myself a scalp massage in the shower. It just brings me so much pleasure. And each time I do it, I feel so super connected into who I am. But I had to commit to an action in order to experience the intention and the depth of my intention. that phrase, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. I think usually what that is the road to hell is paved with intentions that people have no actual intention of following up with. It's like, oh, I really want to do that. Well, that's lovely. There's a million things I want to do, but they're not my intention, and I'm sure as hell not committing to them. Intentions set the tone. Commitments create the symphony. And clarity of intention is really important. It's my intention to feel good is great. That's good. But what do you really want? What does good mean? I think that's why the receiving project intention is so powerful, because it is really clear. It is my intention to receive a gift of loving every day. It's really clear. And with that, the universe does respond. Gifts show up even more than ever before. They do. I've seen the results. I've been facilitating this process for 4.5-ish years now, 4 years. And things show up in ways that they never have. Partly is because of the willingness to set the intention. And even a bigger part is the willingness to commit to finding that gift, to writing those gifts down, to being in the flow. So I love, and like I said, I love intentions. I think they're so incredibly powerful. And I think the power is amplified by our willingness to do, to show up, to create. A question that Beth asked that I think was really powerful was, do my intentions change? And they do all the time, and they don't. So some ways my intentions change are around whatever I'm working with. So I'm really clear when I'm working on a new project or I'm working on experiencing something different inside of me that I want to tailor my intention to suit whatever it is that I'm creating and what I want to experience. So my intention, in creating this e-course, the Electric Creative Experience, it was really consistently, it's my intention to plug into my electric creative wholeness. It is my intention to serve with the fullness of who I am. It's my intention to share my work in beautiful ways. All of those are fantastic intentions, and they keep me really focused and centered and guided. They keep me guided to create and to take action. It all comes down to that. And like I said, I know magic happens when we set the intention. And even more magic happens when we're willing to create. So yeah, my intentions change depending on what I'm working with. Things that don't change, that intention when I work with clients has been my intention since I was at graduate school at the University of Santa Monica, and we really started working with intentions. That's the intention I would set before every trio of working with someone and being in the counselor seat. It's my intention to be a vessel for Spirit's grace and love. It is my intention to facilitate this process to the best of my ability and in service to their highest good and the highest good of all concerned. That to me is a lasting intention. It's really at the depth of what I do and what I continue to hope to do and committed to doing with my clients. Intentions around how I want to experience each day change as to, what's in my pleasure and also where I am on my journey. 10 years ago, I didn't explore pleasure in the way that I do now. It wasn't a concept for me. That really came forward about 4 or 5 years ago. And so that is, an unfolding intention. And I think intentions, continue to unfold in our life. I'm a big fan of repeating the intention, to sticking with an intention, to seeing what actions are inspired by your intention. So again, going back to the receiving project, it's 32 days of saying the same intention. It's my intention to commit to, or it's my intention to receive a gift of loving every day, or today. Every day you get to say that, you get to commit to that. And it's like it kind of works its way into you. The first day, it's like, okay. And often people have amazing experiences the first few days because they're so tuned into it. That intention is so powerful. And they're really like, what are the gifts? What are the gifts? What are the gifts that are showing up? And of course, the more into our intention we are, the more the universe responds to our intention, and the more we are willing to commit and to take action and to do. It's just absolutely fantastic. And then, sometimes the energy fades a little bit, and that's okay. And from there, we get to still say the intention and still have it work deeper into us. It doesn't fade. It stays in us as long as we're willing to keep declaring our intention. And I think something really powerful about saying it out loud. I'll say my intentions in the mirror. It's my intention to experience my electric creative wholeness. Say that out loud. It's my intention to receive a gift of loving. Say that out loud. Declare it, even if it's just to yourself. And from there, the commitment happens. If you're willing, you have to do it. So, take a moment today. Really think about what your commitment is. What are you committing to? What is your intention behind the commitment? So again, the intention is how you want to experience what you want to experience. Your commitment is the action required. So it's my intention to receive gifts of loving from the universe, and I am committed to being open to the gifts that come my way, to saying yes, to saying thank you. Even if it's hard, I'm going to say yes, thank you. It is my intention to experience my electric creative wholeness, and I am committed to taking consistent action to plug in. I'm committed to touching base with my pleasure and doing things throughout the day that are in my pleasure. I'm committed to connecting to that electricity, to letting it guide me. Those are the actions. So what is your intention for the day, and how can you support that intention with action? Those are big things in creating an amazing human experience. Go have fun, and I'll see you next week. Bye.